So showing you those images of what was happening overnight as teams cleared away the wreckage, you will see it's a very different look this morning. Chris Brown is our international correspondent who is now live in Lisbon and right there at the very spot where the crash happened on Wednesday. Chris, many questions for you this morning, but I want to begin with the new information we're getting about the victims and the Canadian connections. What have you learned today?
Well, it's taken a little while to get these identifications positive, but the reports from the police here, 2 Canadians now confirmed killed in this. One of them was a dual national from France, but lived in Canada, was also a Canadian citizen. There have been some social media posts from a child saying her parents are them, but we really don't know much more than that. We're going to wait and see. We're expecting more updates from the authorities who are doing their investigations at around 6 o'clock local time here. Let me show you the scene. It's a bit different, a lot different than yesterday. The 2 trams that were at the center of this terrible accident have now been removed. They brought in enormous cranes overnight to loaded them up and took them away on flatbed trucks. And they brought in workers who are very quickly, as you can see, relaying the cobblestones and trying to repair the damage from this. You can also get a sense of just how steep this is now with all the wreckage and all the vehicles. It was really quite difficult to get that sense of perhaps how fast that runaway tram car would have been going when it turned the corner. That's a spot up there where those workers in white hats and vests are. Damaged the building, but also, ripped up some of the rails as well. So as I say, all of that is being repaired as this investigative work, Heather, continues as well.
We've started to get some timelines from investigators when we'll get full reports and preliminary reports. And what are they saying about how the investigation is progressing and how long this will take?
You get a sense of the urgency. This is an enormous issue here. This wasn't just a public transit. It wasn't just a tourist attraction. It was a real landmark for Portugal, a real focus for the city of Lisbon. It has, as you say, been running for a very long time. Something's been going up and down these streets, a public transit tram for 140 years. But I think that's also going to be what they're looking at as well, Heather, because this was very old technology. We heard from investigators and from the Transportation Authority that ran not just this tram, but the other 2 similar trams just like it here in Lisbon, that it had been checked the day of this accident on Wednesday. But they say it was very reliable, very, very well maintained. But at the same time, it was very old, more than a century old. So you can imagine that investigators will want to look at just how safe was it? Were the materials strong enough to be able to withstand sort of modern day safety measures? And what about the load on the vehicle? We know that it could accommodate up to 44 people and that somewhere around 37 people were on board. So it was a very, very heavy load. And over time, did that make a difference? Did the heaviness, if you will, of that tram contribute to the accident? So we're expecting to get some preliminary answers because they really want to put this behind them and move on and possibly even reopen the other 2 funicular railways that have been shut down pending this investigation.
Chris, thank you. We'll look forward to the reporting to come from there. Before I let you go, because just so people know, obviously in a disaster like this, the numbers and the details continue to evolve as we get more and more definitive information. But I want to make sure I'm correct in this, because I was saying 2 Canadians plus a dual French-Canadian citizen. Are you saying that what you're hearing is there's 1 Canadian and the second is a dual Canadian citizen? So there are 2 Canadians and 1 is the dual citizen?
That is my understanding, okay. Heather, the latter. But we obviously, we'll have to see. Some of this information is coming out in bits and bobs. Global Affairs has not offered any confirmation other than to say that they were looking at the case of 2 missing Canadians, not 3 missing Canadians. So That's all we can say for sure.
Exactly. Okay. The information on the dual citizen was from the French Foreign Ministry and from police that 2 Canadians were killed. And of course, we do have word that a 3rd Canadian, one of those injured, 21 injured, one of whom is a Canadian. So, Chris, as I say, you'll be right there in position to bring us all of the new details and clarifications. And I appreciate it so very much. Chris Brown, live in Lisbon this hour.